Yesterday, I was caught by my subconscious time limit and the exhaustion that I had had from pushing and pushing and pushing to get home by a certain time and day from this trip that I had taken recently. Thankfully, that same day was a one-on-one that I had with Lewis. He heard me fully, continued to ask and ask and ask until we got to the root of this fear of incapability and that I'm not going to make it through this. He guided me through a release meditation, a release experience where I released all these things in regards to this. And then what I was left with was the recognition that I would die for fun, for life to be fun for me and other people. Through that, I was transformed into another state of being, reminding myself constantly of being fun and having fun and letting go of it needing to look exactly like what I'm expecting. Even though I was telling myself that prior, I had gotten this subconscious trap of things that I had set up and things that I had spoken previously as being the only way that this was going to work out. Well, I wrote today and sat in my journal when I felt rushed. I felt super rushed, so I went and stopped somewhere, did some reading, did some writing, read through some documents, and I wrote in there, I don't know how and I don't know why, but this is all playing out to my advantage. From my tiny little radar screen, I can't see, and in fact, it looks like I'm not going to make it out of this. I'm not going to get what I need and what I want. But I know that I will, and I can feel my blessing coming beyond what my mind and my eyes can perceive. Later that same day, I receive a check from the owner of the company that I had been working with, that I've been asking to get throughout this week. Finally got that coming through. The moment that check hit my account and I saw a little screenshot of the Zelle that I had been sent, just as I felt the release of that and the excitement and the freedom, I got a call from a buddy that I had worked with back in 2021 in Pennsylvania on a contract job. He now is the owner of a telehealth peptide distribution company that they have built from the ground up with him and this solo founder who bootstrapped everything with his own money. He's been watching my content over the last few years. I had a consulting session with him as one of my illuminated listening free offers that I had done back in 2023. And then I posted something about peptides purely out of fun because I've been in the flow of creating and sharing. And he reached out to me and asked me to connect. He said, hey, let's chat. I want to talk about this. That's when I found out that over the last few years, that's what he's been working on, this entire business. He found me and offered me a job as an account manager, solo, cold outreach for 100% commission sales of amazing, high-quality, US-made peptides. It's completely remote. I can do it locally, regionally. I can walk into med spas and physicians and whatever else where they're facilitating these things, and I can do everything online. And that's exactly what the feeling that I was listening to whenever he called me and I answered the phone call, and he just sold me. He sold me for 10 minutes straight. And at the end of it, he said, man, I'd really like to work with you. And as soon as I felt that, which was it was just rising and rising and rising and rising. As soon as I heard that last thing and he asked me what I thought, I knew. I didn't think anything. I felt like this was right and that it came at the exact perfect time, and I shared that with him. And when he asked me what I felt, it was 2:22. It was 2:22 p.m. And I just knew that this was exactly right for me to say yes to right now in this transition. Things are changing in my life, and I feel so good, and I feel validated, and I feel free, and I feel secure, and I feel inspired, and I feel connected. This is a friend of mine that I've admired, the work that he has done, and the work that we did together. And I remember thinking back then, 5 years ago, it would be cool to work with Duval again somewhere. That's the guy's name, Duval. Well, I wanted to share that with you, that let the feeling be fully present so that you can observe it fully, acknowledge it, and release it. Commit again and again and again to the feeling of your wish fulfilled and being the person that does what they need to do in order to get inspired. When I was writing those things, I didn't feel like writing them, but I wanted to write them because I wanted to be the person that believes them, that writes those things regardless of what's going on, regardless of how busy they are, regardless of the pressure that they're under from external circumstances, or for me, internal perspectives. So thanks so much if you've watched this all the way through. I love you guys in this group, and I wanted to share that win and that perspective and that mindset and that acknowledgement of the work that we're already doing. Anything that I can do, you can do too. Cheers.